This is 7 in National News, and in our top story, His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Zayed Al Maktoum, the President of Dubai Civil Aviation and CEO and Chairman of Emirates Group and Chairman of Dubai World, was given the first official VIP tour of the new Anantara Palm Jumeirah Resort and Spa on Wednesday evening. His Highness was accompanied by a number of senior dignitaries, including His Excellency Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the Chairman of DP World and Chairman of Seven Tides, as well as Abdullah bin Sulayem, the CEO of Seven Tides. The tour also coincided with the World Travel Awards, which took place at the hotel. Anantara's 5-star facilities boast 293 rooms, 18 villas positioned over water, 33,000 square feet of temperature-controlled lagoon pools, 6 dining and entertainment venues, and the renowned Anantara Spa. The complex also includes an exclusive collection of 442 freehold luxury apartments and 14 penthouses. His Highness Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan, the UAE Minister of Culture, Youth and Community Development, has called for a long-term energy sustainability plan with more investment into renewable energy sources, as experts predict a 50% rise in the Middle East's energy demands in the next 20 years. His Highness Sheikh Nahyan inaugurated the KPMG GCC Energy Conference on Tuesday and spoke in favour of transforming the energy sector for a better tomorrow. He called for unconventional sources of energy in order to cope effectively with the increased demand in our changing world. Experts at the event also reiterated the need for a greater move towards renewable sources of energy due to technological changes as well as continuous geopolitical stability.
Some research has shown that this shale gas can really make the US energy independent. So, as I said previously, I really think the rest of the world will look closely to see the success rate of the US. Importantly, there's China. As we said, China, in their 2020 plan, already announced the production of shale gas between 60 and 100 billion cubic meters.
Michael Suting, the global chairman of the energy and natural resources sector, stated that as the energy demand for the Middle Eastern region is expected to rise by 50% over the next 20 years, change in engineering techniques are required to ensure self-sufficiency. He further stated that the demographics of the GCC can make the region an engineering hub for the world.
I think there is talent, but we need to unlock it. And I think this region has another feature that it's has a diverse geology. So it really can function as a world's lab to develop new technology. And if you combine it with what I see with a willingness, an extreme willingness even of the governments to invest in education, I think this region has the potential to be one of the engineering hubs in the world. You have very large oil companies like Saudi Aramco who already are champions in certain areas. So it's more unlocking the talent, find the means, and I would encourage governments in GCC to form a cohesive type of policy around education, joining forces with a focus, with a clear objective to be an engineering hub.
The UAE has won the bid to host the 34th International Congress of the International Society of Blood Transfusion in 2016, becoming the first ever Middle Eastern country to host the event. More than 4,000 leading healthcare professionals are expected to travel here to the UAE to attend the 7-day event in 2016, which will be held under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai. During the announcement today, Dr. Amin Hussein Al Amiri, the UAE Ministry of Health's Assistant Undersecretary for Medical Practice and Licence Sector, and Chairman of the UAE Supreme National Blood Transfusion Committee, credited Dubai's exceptional facilities and infrastructure for winning the bid. He further stated that the American Association of Blood Banks classifies the UAE as one of the top 5 countries in blood transfusion safety.
In fact, we do collect around 85,000 blood units annually in the country, distributed between Ministry of Health, Dubai Health Authority, Abu Dhabi, and the Defense. And we have 97 nationalities giving blood every year in the Ministry of Health Blood Transfusion Center services. Outside the 97 Emirates are #1 for the last 15 years among those nationalities. And we are so proud that we have self-sufficiency in blood and blood components since 1984. And we do provide blood free of charge to all our patients at the governmental hospitals. And by this bidding and the winning of hosting the international conference for the ISBT 2016 with the other 3 big countries like France, Italy, and Denmark, it reflects the level of blood transfusion services at the Emirates and the support of the government to host the international conferences and support the medical tourism.
Meanwhile, Hamad Mohammed bin Mejren, the Executive Director of Business Tourism for the DTCM, was quoted as saying that hosting the Congress demonstrates Dubai as a global leader in the MICE industry and positions the Emirate as a leading centre in healthcare excellence.
Winning a conference which will bring in expected 4,000 delegates is part of our objectives to achieve His Highness's vision to receive 20 million visitors by 2020. So this is actually as part of the overall tourism industry. Business tourism is a key element for Dubai's success as a leading destination, not only for tourism, but as a commerce destination as well.
Under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Foundation has announced the launch of the Dubai International Programme for Writing. The initiative looks to support Emirati as well as Arab writers here in the UAE and across the Middle East region, and to help them gain international recognition. The programme will be rolled out in 3 phases. The first aims to empower 100 young Emirati writers with enhanced writing skills, while the second phase will engage young Arab authors who currently live in the UAE. The third phase will address authors from across the wider Arab region. Additionally, according to news agency WAM, the foundation will provide funds to publish and promote their literary works in the global marketplace. And additionally, the Dubai Health Authority's Community Centre for the Elderly in Al Mamzar, which is the sole centre for the elderly in the Emirate, has been renamed the Family Gathering Centre, as per the directives of His Excellency, Engineer Essa Al Maidor, the Director General of the Dubai Health Authority. He stated that integration with members of society and excellence in health services have been central themes in planning the expansion for the centre. He says that appreciation, respect and caring for the elderly is an important part of UAE culture and that we owe a great deal to our elderly population. Just under 200 companies violated the 3-month midday break rule for labourers out of the 80,000 firms that were investigated by the Ministry of Labour this summer. The midday break rule was enforced on June the 15th for 3 months over the hot summer months. And companies violating the ban have been fined a total of 4.68 million dirhams by the Ministry of Labour. Statistics show that offenders included 85 general trade firms, 59 contracting companies, and 36 auto accessories firms. The rest covered decorations, electrical appliances, transport, maintenance, hotels, and restaurants. The figures showed 80,259 companies out of 80,571 firms complied with the 3-month work ban, and now in its 8th year this year. And finally, looking to other news now, low gold prices, the upcoming festive season and rising consumer confidence has set the pace for the watch and jewellery show over in Sharjah. The 5-day show opened on Tuesday at the Expo Centre and now in its 35th edition is featuring over 450 exhibitors. Running until the 5th of October, the show that is also hosting the Italian Art Pavilion for the first time is being inspired by themes themes associated with the region. Another exciting part of the show is the Thailand Pavilion, showcasing gold and diamond jewellery, as well as national pavilions such as Hong Kong, India, Italy, Malaysia and Singapore. The show is also hosting a number of seminars which are being organised by the Gemology Institute of America.
The initiative for the Sharjah Middle East Watch and Jewellery Show is promoting jewellery business in Sharjah, not only in Sharjah, in the whole region of UAE and the Middle East also. The major exhibitors like participation from national pavilions, actually from Hong Kong, Singapore, China, Thailand, Italy. And the main exhibitors here are local jewelers mostly, like Samra, Damani, Amwaj. It's basically promoting the Middle East Watch and Jewellery Show over here and the jewellery business in UAE as well as in Middle East also, especially promoting the jewelers locally and internationally.